Bro, MSTY is like the hottest high yield ETF right now out there. So if you go on X, there's a post about MSTY every minute or so. And it actually is no longer number one best performing YieldMax ETF. It's now number two. And it lost the first position to Platy, which is a covered call on Palantir. But I wanted to talk about this stock, this ETF, because it's become super popular. And if you go to YieldMax subreddit, like every other post or the majority of posts are about Misty. Okay, and people are basically taking out loans, going on margin, getting home equity lines of credit, just borrowing like crazy, and want to go dump like $200,000-300,000 into Misty. And it might be smart because if you look over here, Misty has performed amazing. Like the total return in just over a year is almost 300%. And they paid in total, if you look over here, they paid $37 in dividends since inception, and the inception price was like $20. And even now they're above its inception price. So if you bought when it started trading last year in March for $20, you have collected a lot of money, like $37 per share, and your NAV is up. But I have an issue with MSTR or MSTY, and actually MSTR or MicroStrategy. I'm not telling you not to buy or to buy, but I just want to kind of voice my opinion on this. So none of this is financial advice, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, just a schmuck on the internet. So if this video is helpful and you liked it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. With that, let's begin. Okay, so when I'm saying I'm not for buying MSTY or Misty, or I'm against it, that's not true. In fact, I recently posted this on Reddit. It just didn't get any traction. But anyway, I actually bought some Misty a few days ago. So what happened is in February, when it dropped to like $18-19, I bought two covered calls on it for $2.22 each. So my total spend was $444, as you can see right here. And those were expiring in October. So, and I did this because like MicroStrategy goes through these ups and downs, and it was on the down. It was kind of not expensive. The most I would lose is like $400, and I could gain a lot more. So anyway, a few days ago, I tried to sell those cover calls. So that was like a week ago, 10 days ago, May 2nd. I tried to sell them. They were about $7, but the spread on them was huge. It was like $6 to $8. So I was trying to get $7.20, and basically make $5 per share, $1,000 total, and then I could buy $40 or 40 shares of Misty. It was around $25 back then. I could get 40 shares of Misty for free, and enjoy life, collect the dividend they just paid. Everything would be good. But the thing is, this cheap mofos, they just the spread was so wide, and that nobody would like. It was the price I was putting. It was in the money or just around the money. So I was doing like 7.20, and the price was 25.16, and therefore like it was 4 cents of extrinsic value. I'm like, come on, bro. But they won't budge. So I'm like, basically I rage exercise those options, and I bought myself 200 shares of Misty for a price of $20.20. So it was about $5 below going price, and I already collected the 237 dividend that they just paid over here, 238, 237. So my price on those shares is now below $20. Okay, so good stuff. I mean, it did go down today a little bit. It was up $24 in the morning. It closed around 23. So, but still not bad. Decent price for now. Probably was better to just buy those shares for $18 back when it was down, but I didn't want to. Okay, so that this long story is just to show that I'm not against buying Misty. What my problem with Misty is MicroStrategy. And if you look over here, so this is Michael Saylor. This is his Twitter. He made this announcement today. Everybody knew about this yesterday because before he makes these announcements, he posts this like these charts like and says we haven't bought in a while. Okay. So anyway, what my problem is with MicroStrategy is this right here. 20, basically $70 per Bitcoin average price. Okay, 69 to 87. That's close to 70K. All right. A couple of months ago, Bitcoin was trading for 74. And if history is to teach us anything, there will likely be another crypto winter, most likely. And we don't know. I mean, we're still in this, uh, you know, tariff kind of down market. Like SPY just today recovered, or yesterday recovered its 200 moving average, 200-day moving average. So like we're not out of the woods yet. We had a massive rally today. My account was obviously doing great and all of that good stuff, but there's a good possibility of a recession. Not saying there will be, but the possibility is pretty good, although um, the analysts already upping their SPY or S&P 500 end of the year price targets. They dropped them in February and March and April, but now they're kind of raising them back. Whatever. So here's my view on MicroStrategy. Let's say we have crypto winter and Bitcoin drops to 60 grand. Okay, by then their average price will probably be around 75k. Okay, 60 grand and 75k, that's like 20%, 25%, or 20% down from their average. What do you think their bondholders will do if they're 20% down on their Bitcoin holdings from market price? Um, Unfortunately, MicroStrategy has gotten very big, and if they implode, it's going to hurt a lot of people. There will be like if they're forced to sell Bitcoin, it will basically cause an additional stress on Bitcoin market, on crypto market. Probably will, just the fact that they have to sell Bitcoin will probably cause another drop, and that will make things even worse. So I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying there is a good chance it may happen, and it's very risky. And that's why I think that people who want to, dump 3,000, 30,000, 300,000, like this guy is putting another 40k into Misty. This guy I think has like 85k in, no, that's something else. Bitcoin Archer, whatever, like 100k in Misty. Like it could pay off, guys. I'm not saying it wouldn't. Like let's say MicroStrategy or MSTR makes another run for like 550 bucks, then Misty could potentially go to like $40. Potentially, I'm not saying it will, but there is, let's say MicroStrategy goes to 600 bucks. It could happen, and then Misty could run to 40 bucks again. Would be amazing if that happens. If it goes above 30 bucks, I'm basically selling. I'm not waiting, because I just don't want to take that risk, because if MicroStrategy implodes, if they're forced to sell their Bitcoin, then Misty will drop to like below $5, and the whole Bitcoin market will suffer tremendously. At that point, it will probably be like a recession type of thing anyway. But I'm just like not seeing the reward versus the risk. Like if you're buying now for 23 bucks, let's say they pay. Um, let's look at their dividends. So over here they had a massive dividend. Over here they had a massive dividend, but most of them are around over here around $2 something. Okay, that's the typical, maybe like 250 the average dividend, and I don't see them paying like $4 or $5 anytime soon, although they could. Like another thing, I actually listened to interview Return on Dividends did with Misty guys, with their managers from YieldMax, and like it all sounds great, but if you look at last week or last month's performance, they basically lost almost every single weekly call. They did make the money on synthetic, but they lost almost every single weekly call. So I'm not really a fan of how they run. They're too aggressive with their covered calls. Like I would prefer them to be slightly below implied volatility and go a little bit further out of the money. I'll settle for 75% yield, guys. It doesn't have to be 130% forward yield. Like look at this, 130% forward yield on Misty right now. I'm okay with 75% yield, just as long as they don't lose money on the weeklies. I think it's much better to make money on the weeklies instead of on the synthetic. But they're kind of aggressive, and so that's why I'm not liking it. But I'm not, even with that they're still paying nice dividend. Like I'm not complaining. Look at these dividends. It's crazy. Like the fund paid $37 in dividends in just over a year. So I'm not complaining about that. I'm just worried about implosion of MicroStrategy, and if that happens, basically Misty is not going to exist. And there's $3 billion in this fund. It's the biggest fund for YieldMax. In fact, like most of their other funds are like 1 billion at the most. Tesla, NVIDIA, and we can look over here. Let's look at NVIDIA. They're about $1 billion. Let's also load Tesla. It's Tesla. So yeah, 1.3 billion, 1.12 billion, and Coney is just over a billion, I think, 1.12. Cool. Another thing, guys, like people don't really talk about it, but look how much red there is over here. Probably the most important column is over here, 1 year return. Second is 1 year drip return. But if you even when you account for dividends and dividend reinvesting, so the second column, look how much red there is. Like, yeah, they have many funds that do well and many funds that don't do well, but this top three, it used to be dominated basically by Misty, Coney, and Nvidia. Those guys are nowhere to be seen. In fact, Coney now with dividends reinvested is down on a year, and without reinvesting dividends, it's up only 2.23%. This used to be a monster. Like, see, the total return for Coney is like 86%, and it used to be much higher. Over here, it was 180%. But because the NAV dropped, look at the share price, it dropped tremendously, and so I'm afraid something like this may happen, and probably will happen to Misty in the not so distant future. Therefore, if you are thinking about investing a large sum of money, you should probably consider this. And the longer time goes on, the more closer we're getting to a potential crypto winter. So, yeah, those are just my thoughts, not financial advice, guys. Again, I'm still holding my Misty for now, collecting dividends. If it gets to like 100% paid for itself, I'm just gonna keep it. Or if it gets to like 30 some dollars, I'm selling it and getting out of it. So that's my plan. Good luck to everybody. So day after tomorrow, so on Wednesday, we're gonna have Tesla paying dividends. Supposedly this month will be pretty good, but overall, in 2.5 years, Tesla is up just a measly 17.5%, and that's with a pretty massive bump in the last few days. Over here, they were basically flat. Just 5 days ago, they were flat. 4% total return in 2.5 years. So yeah, if you were buying for like $6-7, then you're doing well right now. If you were buying for $40 when it IPO'd or inception, you're not sitting so pretty. Anyway, guys, just my two thoughts. If you enjoyed this channel, smash the like. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and come back for more videos. I'll see you